refuting my opponent's topic on video games. His major claim was that playing video games improves your brain function. His supporting claims were video games enhance creativity, increase your ability to multitask, and help you think faster. My major refutation claim is that although there is evidence to support video games improving brain function, time would be better spent doing other activities such as reading or playing a sport that could increase your productivity. His first statement was from a 3-year study that stated that 491 middle school students playing video games, they were able to, they boosted their creativity from playing video games, but however, some evidence states that only violent video games have produced this effect on from research. Studies show that violent content tends to demonstrate transfer of learning to real-world situations. Studies in several countries, including one consisting of 1,595 children in Japan and the United States, suggest that children who play violent video games become more aggressive in their daily lives. Another study of 13 late adolescent gamers showed that when playing a game of Unreal Tournament under MRI, they show less activity in their rotoral anterior singular cortex and their amygdala. These brain areas are associated with resolving emotional conflict, and their decreased functioning could indicate a suppression of emotional response to witnessing the results of taking violent action. So, although video games can enhance your creativity, all the studies have shown that they're only related to violent video games. So if it was marketed toward children, it wouldn't be as effective because it's not really educational when it's enhancing their creativity. His second claim was that video games increase your ability to multitask. He supported his claim with a study by Rochester University, stating that gamers can focus up to 6 things at a time, compared to the regular person who can only focus on 4. Part of this could be related to people that are more prone to be able to multitask would be more likely to play these games. So that could lead to this evidence of how games can improve your multitasking. Some games require a player to scan the screen constantly for small changes, announcing the sudden appearance of an enemy to be able to respond quickly to these changes. So the same thing, even though these video games increase your ability to multitask, they're only related to violent video games and not other forms of, other genres of video games, educational video games. Finally, his final supporting claim was that video games can help you think faster, but he didn't state the benefits, because they vary greatly between which video games you're playing, and the amount you play the video games. So, what I mean by that is the content of video games plays important idea, plays a huge part in how much that you can improve your ability to think faster. Mainly from the study, it said that it was mostly high action video games with it had high paced action and yeah. So I hope with the evidence I gave you, you would lead you to conclude that although video games improve your brain function, you would be better spending your time doing something that's more productive. Thanks.
All right, the advocate's main and secondary points are labeled clearly. You have a general counterclaim that you're making, but it seems like it's kind of a policy value argument. You come back to it at the end, you know, it'd be better to spend their time doing something else. You never show us that it's better to spend our time doing something else. Where's the stuff that says exercise makes us think better, or that going outdoors has that effect, or watching television, or whatever these other activities are? You're going to make that a counterclaim, but then you don't provide any proof on that. That's, I think, a little problematic. The signpost on the individual points is relatively clear. I think you summarize the advocate's evidence pretty quickly. It got a little confusing on the first point because you're talking about the evidence you start presenting has to do with the development of aggression and violence in the video games. And I think the inference that you're making is that the only way people become creative is become violent in the games, or the games that provoke this creativity are violent video games. And I'm not sure that that's exactly the way the evidence reads, or that responds to the advocate's point very directly. I think you need to be clearer as to what it is you want us to get out of this information. It really feels a little circular there. There is another spot, though, where you talk about the brain functions being of emotion, for instance, are affected in some way by these video games. And I think you could easily make an argument that says, look, if they're playing these games and their emotional function is affected in a negative way, then how is it likely that they're going to be more creative or be able to think faster or do any of these kinds of things? That seems counterintuitive. So don't be shy about making a declarative sentence and using the evidence to support it. Sometimes the evidence isn't going to be as strong as you might want it to be, but at least I know what it is you want me to believe after you've said that. And you do the same thing that we had a little bit in one of the other speeches. You're kind of presenting the evidence first and then backing into what the argument is. You want to give us the argument first and then provide the evidence that supports that position. On the second point, I did think that you had an interesting argument, a reasoning argument here on the multitasking thing. You, in essence, are saying what happens is that people who are good at multitasking choose to play video games. It's not that playing video games makes them good at multitasking. I think that's a good challenge to make. If you had any evidence to back it up, it would be even better. You know, it's a nice press to make, and it, you know, kind of forces us to think about this. But there might be some reason to believe that that's the case, that people choose these games because there are so many things, and they choose those games because they're good at that kind of stuff. You know, they get their ass kicked at chess because they can't think deep, but they're great at responding to lots of things going on all at once. You know, something like that. If you had any data like that, that would make that argument a little bit stronger. All right, thank you.